on to you, Cancer Crabs out there. So I just wanted to go ahead and say thank you to everybody who went ahead and joined the live. Appreciate y'all. Smash the like button. There's a link in the comment section below called a Linktree link. Click on it. It will redirect you to a website which has all the ways to be able to financially support the channel, so I can most definitely, keep the show going. Thank you so much. So for you, Cancer Crabs, you Cancers have the Four of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, and the Devil card. I heard somebody's iPhone from way over wherever it is. But for you, Cancer Crabs, the Four of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups and the Devil, right? Now, the Devil card represents Capricorn. Capricorn being the opposite zodiac sign. This right here is really about how, let me take a step back. Okay, that's interesting. So overall, let's get into it. Let's get into it, right? Let's get into it. So the Four of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups represents how a lot of you Cancer Crabs are being very selective about, as you normally are, right? About the quality of the people that you have around you. A lot of you Cancer Crabs are not just going to hang out with just anybody. These are people that is going to have some level of common sense and decency in order for you to actually want to hang out with them, right? If the romantic physical spark is there as well, right? And the Devil card represents, you got to also understand though, Cancer Crabs, that people are not necessarily going to like you when you are selective like this. You know, I know of a married woman right now on YouTube, Crimson Cure, who talks about her being married, but she also goes ahead and tells a lot of the people who watch her channel that just because you're a decent individual, right, does not necessarily mean that you have a golden ticket, which is what it is. And she has like over 110,000 subs, but it's everything that I've been saying about, like, just because, Cancer Crabs, that you are decent people and that you're striving to actually do the work to become better does not necessarily mean, you know, you control who comes up to you and who doesn't. You know what I mean? This is yet another way to debunk that whole stupid ideology of you are what it is that you are attracting. Because just because you're you could be a lion, but if you attract a hyena, somebody who's dysfunctional and confused and always all over the place, which a hyena is, does that mean that you are any less of a lion? No, it just means that you are trapped with a hyena that you need to stay away from. But it also means that you have to be more careful. You have to be more watchful. And that's exactly what it is that you Cancer Crabs are striving to do. You're striving to be more watchful. And part of being watchful is being selective. The reason why you got the Devil card in the first place is because, Cancer Crabs, a lot of y'all are physically attractive. A lot, Margot Robbie, attractive. Ariana Grande, Snow the Product. They are all Cancer Crabs, right? Attractive. Rose Namajunas, attractive. You dig what I'm saying? Who else is a Cancer Crab? But the point that I'm trying to make here with that is, right? The point that I'm trying to make here with that is very attractive. Tyler Santos, Brazilian, but just because your attraction can sometimes bring people to you because of the fact that you are attractive. Now, you don't get to control, unless you're doing magic, but you don't get to control who comes up to you. Whoever comes up to you and their value, that's something that you have to further investigate. And you need to understand that you will be called the devil when you are very straightforward about what it is that you want and you're sticking to your words. People are not gonna like you because it's like they want to have you so bad, but then at the same time it's like They know that they can't have you, Cancer crabs, because you tell them no. And if you Cancers could just stop fighting them and just let them have you, everything will be all right. You know what I mean? So those are people who get attached. And then the Eight of Swords the Eight of Swords and the Page of Swords. Is that the page? Yeah. Eight of Swords and the Page of Swords is all about how, and you Cancer crabs just try to stay away from them and do your endeavor best to not continue to lead these people on. Because truth be told, though, some real game, no real talk, truth be told, anybody who's still trying to get to know somebody, right, after they've turned that person down, they leading them on. They're leading them on. So I'm a strong proponent in, if you're not really going to give this person a chance, or if you don't verbalize that you're trying to give these people a chance, I'm a strong advocate for you should just cut them loose, right? So this is about you Cancer crabs needing to not keep those people around you as well. This is a warning. Stay away from them. Don't be around them knowing good and well that these are people that are kind of crazy, because they're kind of already attached to you, and it's only been a short period of time, and they're already this kind of attached. So you Cancer crabs need to understand that, don't soak the matches in gasoline. You know what I mean? Don't make the fire worse. Don't make their attachment to you worse, because then it can turn dangerous. Okay? Then the Hanged Man and the Seven of Wands now represents how the cards are saying for you to wait. Wait, be patient, get to know people. I've said this, I've said this ad nauseum. You Cancer crabs may not want to hear it, but I'm telling you the honest truth so that I'm setting you up for success. You Cancer crabs should understand, just like all the zodiac signs that come to me, should understand that we're in a time right now, and I've been saying it, we're in a time right now, regardless of whether you believe me or not, is irrelevant. That's up to you. Y'all are adults. Y'all are going to do whatever it is that y'all want to do at the end of the day. But we're in a time right now where things are weird. We're in clown world right now. We're in clown world. So because of the fact that we are in clown world, that means that means, look at that. But that means that we're going to be in a situation where just because you Cancer crabs are striving to be more and more decent does not necessarily mean that that's every single person that comes to you, because the sheer numbers, right? Arcea de Ducatir, shout outs to Arcea for this, but Arcea de Ducatir says that the majority of the people in the world are good. I gotta respectfully disagree, because when we take into account the intellectual dishonesty, how people try to get over on another person using intellectual dishonesty, and how much people let slide for their desires and to satisfy their desires of validation and delusions of grandeur, and the desire to feel adequate and to be worshipped. I don't think the majority of the world is quote unquote good, quote unquote. I think the majority of the world, honestly speaking, is really warped. And that a good amount of people are not warped, because they are qualified to judge because they have sharpened their discernment skills over the years of making very wise decisions. So I'm saying all this, Cancer crabs, right, to tell you that you Cancer crabs have to understand that what you've got going on is to get that you are one of those type of people that may have decency, but it does not mean that everybody is going to respect. You need to gatekeep that. You need to safeguard that. You need to understand that Not everybody is going to come in. This is why it is I said that you have to pay attention to their character, because the Eight of Cups will show you it. The Eight of Cups is your own internal compass, and it will point you in the right direction, which is north. It will point you in a direction where you legitimately want to go. So you Cancer crabs have to understand that if you're getting to know somebody right now and they're super attached, they don't respect boundaries, those are people that you may want to end up watching out for, because those are not necessarily the types of people that you should want to have around you, because they're crazy. They're the type of people where they come straight out of a Scream movie. You reject them, and the next thing you know, they put on the Scream mask. You know what I mean? And you honestly, your own instincts, your own intuition will guide you. If you have it, if you've trained it, it will guide you in a correct direction. The Knight of Swords, all right? And that's another thing too that the Eight of Cups is trying to bestow, trying to let me understand, and let it guide you in the correct direction. Don't just know it and then don't practice it. No, let it guide you in the correct direction. Because the Knight of Swords and the Four of Wands is all about how you Cancer crabs, you have what it takes to get somebody that is decent, that is a good mix for you, but you have to ultimately find those type of people where you and this person have a good match with one another, right? Because between the straight up out hyenas, the people who are confused that you can see or warped, the people who are chameleons, they are a lot less lions and lionesses comparatively to hyenas. A lot of people are hyenas, and they take up, and hyenas occupy every position in the world. Presidency, king, or I should say presidency, monarch, government official, prime minister, mayor. Like you seeing the corruption. You seeing it now today, that just because somebody is elected mayor doesn't mean that they don't have skeletons in their closet. So these people, these corrupt officials, right? And I'm not putting politics in it. I'm just saying that it's happening from the top down to the down to the top, from the head to the toes, from the toes to the head. That corruption and delusion and a warped reality is happening in every position in all of life. So just because a person may have money, right, and they're making millions or even billions of dollars a year, doesn't mean that they're not warped. It doesn't mean that they're not prone to disrespect and innuendos and trying to ruin a person's reputation. You feel what I'm saying? Just because so I'm saying all that to say you Cancer crowds have to understand to take your time getting to know somebody. You have to be selective. And I'm not saying that y'all can't have your romance. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is pay attention to all of it, right? Pay attention to, once you have your romance, what happens when you and the person have their romance? Do they disappear? If the person disappears, then you know what time it is. It means that these are the people that are weirdos. If the person gets romance and then they're still in your life and they're doing it healthily, where they're trying to be in your life, but they're not trying to smother you, but they're also still sticking around, those are the people that you want to have around you, that you're attracted to, you have something in common with. Winner, chicken dinner. If you give intimacy to, and I'm saying it like this because of the Four of Wands, you want to play house with somebody. You want to be like husband and wife. And you can have that if that's what you want, right? Or the principle of that, where you're living together with somebody in harmony. But you got to be able to know what it is that you're doing. Let's clarify the Four of Wands. Okay. Seven of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, Five of Swords, Queen of Wands, Eight of Pentacles. Seven of Wands and Wheel of Fortune, you have to fight people off. You have to keep the parasites away from you. The Wheel of Fortune, and your discernment has to be on point, because the more love and health and stability you bring to the table, is the more people are going to want to take that from you, because they're jealous or clumsiness, meaning that they didn't originally plan on taking it from you, but they can't control themselves because they're warped and they're dysfunctional. And the Five of Swords and the Queen of Wands, avoid anyone right now that is getting on your nerves, that you could be getting to know as of now. So if there's anybody right now, Cancer Crabs, that y'all are getting to know, right? And they're getting on your nerves a little bit. They're a little bit combative to be with, because they're contrarians. Those are the type of people that immediately go against you and what you're saying, or they constantly overtalk you. In other words, they cross you a lot. They do things to get on your nerves. Or maybe they do not have a certain level of respect for anyone. Then it means that you need to stay away from them, because they're too sassy on either side, regardless of what you're into. And the Eight of Pentacles, you're better off without someone that's going to come in and insult you and go in and stuff like this. You're better off without that, because in essence, the other person just makes themselves look like they're crazy anyway. I just had this recently myself. Somebody came in to my life or whatnot, and I'm just getting to know just as friends and whatnot, like, no romance so far or whatnot. And I'm just talking to them. No romance has occurred or anything like that. I'm just feeling them out, and the person is already insulting. The person's like, oh, do you know who Cher is? And I'm like, I don't know who it is that you're talking about. And the person's like, oh, this person has a lot of those types of people community. I can't say that even the lettering, but the alternative lifestyle community. I'm like, okay, what does that have to do with me? Because the person didn't even understand that people who live that alternative lifestyle, they have their own phrases, they have their own. Because I know a lot of those type of people, because a lot of those people live in a neighborhood, right? In New York, call it the village. I'm in the village. You feel what I'm saying? So anyone who's from New York knows what it is I'm talking about. But New York City in particular, they know what it is I'm talking about. I'm in the village. So, or I should say a part of it, right? Not smack dab in the middle of it. But the point that I'm trying to make here with that is, you will see them around here, you know what I mean? And I know a couple of them personally for over the years, expanding out into my neighborhood, knowing them and stuff like this. They had their own slang, they have their own terminology, they had their own thing. So like like the word blue can mean the color. And you may enjoy the color blue, right? Blue is my favorite color. But the word blue, right, to people who are living a certain alternative lifestyle may mean something completely different. And if you are not a part of that alternative lifestyle, you feel what I'm saying? And that's the point that I'm trying to make here. The point that I'm trying to make with that is, don't even try to make something work where it's like the person just can't see things from your point of view at all, ever. They can't even put one and one together to make two. You got to just stay away from those people. If they're coming in already trying to insult you, that's a dub.